Welcome to Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts. How much do you pay for housing here? Experts say for many of us, our bills are too big for our budgets. We'll discuss.
I'm Linda Larson. If you love oils and jams and cheese, oh my, there is a new gourmet pantry on the Suncoast. And today we'll do a taste test.
I'm Beth. How afraid should you be of the Zika virus? On the Suncoast, we have a biologist here to tell us all about it.
And I'm Linda Carson. It's premiere time for a whole new season of TV shows. We will preview some of the new series that you can see right here on ABC7. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and we welcome back Linda Larson, motivational speaker extraordinaire, here with us.
Hello, ladies. Good to be back.
Yes,
nice. Thank you.
Great to have you. And by the way, girls, you may not know,
Congratulations.
we have a nationally acclaimed celebrity amongst us. Tell us about your award that you received this summer.
It's called the Council of Peers Award of Excellence. It's awarded every year to 4 members of the National Speakers Association who have achieved, oh, look, it's a video, who have achieved certain elements in their career.
And look at your dress. Let's talk about the real deal. You look stunning.
A crown.
She took that off.
Yes, it was very much fun. Apparently, there's only 174 members worldwide who hold this designation. Guess a former recipient? Ronald Reagan.
Oh,
you are in impressive company.
And Colin Powell, who right now is in a little bit of right in the news.
Right in the news.
You are amongst very good company.
It's a huge honor.
Good for you.
Yeah,
well, we had
thanks.
no doubt you were that talented, and it's nice to know that your peers in your industry know it as well.
What do you speak about as a motivational speaker?
Oh, just how to help people bring the best version of themselves to the party every day, work, business, personal life. How to do that.
We ought to hear that speech.
Yeah, we may need that. We're ready for Friday here, so we need a little motivation to push on as we go through the day-to-day. Well, I know one thing that motivates us each and every afternoon is what's in the kitchen. So we are happy to check in today and see Chef Letitia from Blue Mangrove. What are we making today, Chef?
We're making a crab Louis salad today.
Crab Louis. Okay, I know the name, but I don't know exactly what's in it. What is in Crab Louis?
It's a baby iceberg. We do asparagus, cucumber, tomatoes, crab meat, and hard eggs.
Okay, and I bet a special dressing is involved as well.
Yes.
So we look forward to that. All right, great salads at Blue Mangrove, and if you've never been there, the view is so serene. It is tucked away in a marina in like a residential area. It's a hidden gem.
Oh, I want to go.
It is so quiet.
Maybe
Oh
this
yes,
weekend.
that is a wonderful place to just go unwind. Very, very real Florida there, which we like. And by the way, speaking of accolades, Linda Carson, you are featured in a magazine this month in 941 CEO. Yes, there are no secrets here. Tell us about your article, and we're going to show everybody.
I was just surprised. A photographer called me and said, I need to take a picture of you. And I said, why? And he said, I don't know. But come
And
over.
you went?
And I thought, maybe I shouldn't go.
Yeah, what if it was Playboy?
Well, he didn't ask me to take off my clothes.
All
That was
right,
for
just
sure.
checking.
We were standing outside on the street, but
You can get Linda to do anything once you have a camera.
Right, that's why I said, why did you go without asking?
you may be right, Bobette. Some people say, don't make my picture. I've never said that.
Where do I need to go? Okay, I will be there.
Well, it is a nice article about some of your thoughts and views from your many years in TV, and it's great reading, so everyone should check that
The
one out.
title is What I've Learned, and I have learned a lot just from sitting around you guys.
So that's 941 CEO, a great business publication right here on the Suncoast. So, Beth, you and I need to up our game here. We're sitting in some big company. All right, it is time for our first hot topic, and it comes to us today, ironically, from 941 CEO. Is a housing crisis looming here on the Suncoast? Experts say it is because there is not enough affordable housing. You know, we've heard this before. The Suncoast is the 11th fastest growing region in the United States. Wow. Sarasota County adds 14 new residents a day. I hope they don't have cars. And that is from migration, not births, because our death rate does exceed our birth rate. But it means that 22,000 more homes are going to be needed in 2020. And it's the type of homes we have that have experts concerned. Look at some of these numbers. Now, the financial people say that 30% of your income should be spent on housing. That's to make a good budget. Yet 40% of households in the Suncoast spend more than that. That makes them cost burdened and unable to keep up with other bills. Only 26 of the homes here on the Suncoast are rental properties, which is a full 10% lower than the rest of the state. So how do we get these developers to build more affordable housing instead of just big lavish homes for retirees who can afford it?
It's got to pay off for them because they're in a business. They're not in a charity, so it's got to pay off for them. But we need a place that teachers and policemen and people like us can afford to live.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You hear a lot of talk about it, affordable housing, and there are efforts to do that. But then you have, in this community, there's a big gap. You have those that are very, very wealthy, and then you have very few middle class, and then a lot of those who are impoverished. So then you don't have the ability to sustain that middle class here. That's the problem a lot of people are having, and a lot of those you know, like Harvey Grandolph, and there are a couple other people that are really trying, but they just can't get their projects going for whatever reason.
Because they need the money.
Or if it's this, or if it's that, or the city, there's always some sort of obstacle that prevents the affordable housing projects from moving forward.
Well, and it is a money thing because, as Linda pointed out, obviously the developers are in it for money as well, and in our area is more money in building those upscale properties.
Maybe we need to hear from more people. We need to have people contacting county commissioners and city commissioners and saying, we support this. Maybe if there was a task force or someone at, on this project and saying, we have to create something.
I think they know, though. Because, everyone has been talking about it. There's been so many different projects, they just never get the green light.
One thing they were talking about was putting condos downtown for the working people, like policemen and teachers. But then I heard other people say, those people have families. They don't want to live in a downtown condo with little children. They need to live out in areas that have, like, a suburban
but in other
area.
areas, families live in condos. In downtown, what is the difference? Like, if you go to Miami, you see full-on families coming out of a downtown condo.
And this study isn't even about where, it's just about what. We need it. We can talk about the where later. They just need it.
I think the properties are there. I think it's just the pricing. So, when I'm looking, at one point I was looking for a place to stay up here during the week, and then I would just go back to Port Charlotte on the weekends because I didn't want to do the hour drive. And literally the cheapest thing I can find was $3,000 a month.
Ooh, close to downtown, though, correct?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to pay $3,000 just for somewhere to live
for 5 days a week.
Yeah, that is just absurd. I'll just do the drive.
Well, the discussion definitely needs to continue with people who can make a difference, because I thought those numbers were somewhat alarming. Well, there are some things that are meant to stay in the privacy of your own home, but that's not always a sure thing when it involves a smartphone app. So a woman is spearheading a class action lawsuit against her sex toy company after she learned the company was analyzing her very personal moments with her vibrator for marketing purposes. So the sex toy connected to a smartphone. That way you can adjust the vibration or intensity, and it also allows maybe someone else to control it if you'd like from across the room. But the company accessed the data and is now charged with consumer fraud and violating the federal Wiretapping Act.
Okay, then.
It's hard for me to have sympathy for a woman having sex with her phone.
She wasn't having it with her phone. She was using her phone to move the device, I believe.
I think certain things should not be so
technical.
You have your vibrator, okay, but why do you need to connect it to your cell phone? Let's not. It's just you're doing too much at one point. Like, let's just go back to the simple days.
I would totally agree with that. There are some things that do not need to go into that vast world that we don't understand of technology.
You can't sue for everything.
But what did you think was going to happen? Someone's going to collect that data. Where did you think the data was going to go?
It'll end up on Facebook before you know it.
Yeah, once you're starting to connect things to your phone, I just feel like that data is being collected.
We don't need an app for everything. That is one that didn't need the app. Well, another lawsuit from the headlines, the Chipotle E. coli crisis. It scared many a burrito lover, but not permanently, apparently. A Chipotle customer who got sick in the E. coli outbreak last year asked for free burritos as part of her legal settlement with the fast food chain. Her lawyer said he's been doing food poisoning cases for 25 years. He has never had a client ask for more food from the place that made them sick. Her infection racked up $40,000 in medical bills. Chipotle sent her coupons for a couple of dozen free burritos as part of the payout. Talk about brand loyalty. Would you go back?
I know
if you
some
got
people,
E. coli?
I know, like my little brother and his friends did not care. They said it was so good. They literally, and I was like, you know, there's a E. coli scare, so what? I'm going there. Can you just take me there, please? And I'm thinking to myself, you guys are going to get sick.
Oh,
But they're very loyal to that brand, whatever they're serving people.
And it was
want it.
limited.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't everywhere. But to actually be the human that got sick and quite sick, but yet still ask for, well, part of my payout, I want free food.
Well, what if you were in an airplane and it crashed and you survived? Would you never go back on an airplane again? You would assume.
Probably not, actually, Linda. No, I'm not sure I would.
Well, I have to. So.
This woman was optimistic.
There, yeah,
Linda.
she's
She
being
listened to
optimistic.
you.
She
She was
really likes the
optimistic.
food.
I guess so. All right. Well, good for her. So eating lunch at school can be painful for kids who don't have anyone to sit with. So a teen who has had that experience in the past created a really cool tool to help others avoid the embarrassment. This is a case where we like having an app. It's an app called Sit With Us, and it just launched. Kids who use the app designate themselves as ambassadors, and they post what are called open lunch events at pre-approved specific tables. That means anyone can come and sit. Kids can then request to join tables through the app, which takes away that fear of getting mocked or turned down by going up to a table in person. Do we like this, or do we think we're hiding behind our phones?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I think if there's a place where someone knows they can go in that lunchroom and feel connected immediately, it's such a terrifying thing. If you're new in school or if you've been picked on, I love it.
Don't we need to learn how to do it, though? I know Beth is shaking her head.
I see the good in it, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, and I don't believe in bullying. I feel like everyone, regardless of what, you should always treat everyone the same. But at the same time, I feel like that is part of coming out of your comfort zone and being able to say, I have enough self-esteem. I don't care if you like me or want me at this table. This is where I'm going to sit at this table, and I dare you to say something to me. You know, I feel like we need to teach people that kind of strength within themselves. It's like, if I make you dictate where I sit, then I'm giving you too much power over me. Like, and I just don't agree with the concept. I'm going to sit where I want, and I dare you to tell me to get up.
Well, and you have that.
And I don't know, you don't need to.
And have always had that kind of attitude. I think for the kids that don't, I think you could look at it both ways. I mean, you're certainly protecting them from that horrible growing up experience of rejection. We've all been there.
But you need rejection to move forward. Everything, good things always come out of pain.
I agree with
know
that.
It sounds bad to say, but good things always come out of pain. So you have to learn from that rejection and get that self-esteem within you. If you don't allow them to experience that, they're going to constantly have it. They're never going to learn it. They're going to constantly need that someone else to help them through something else.
And it makes sense, and you're talking from an adult perspective, and how many times have we told kids, you'll get through this, it's not that bad. For them, it's that bad.
It is.
And I just want to make certain, they're going to get plenty of rejection. I just would like for it not to be in front of a huge cafeteria full of people where everybody laughs and points and they feel horrible.
And we know it happens.
If I were walking into a banquet, I'd like to know where I could sit.
True.
I don't want to
That's
sit at
true,
the
too.
table that I
Very good
and I
point.
have done that. When my husband was head coach, I was sort of new at being a wife, and I walked into a meeting and I said, "Oh, there's the owner, Art Modell. I'll go sit with him." Suddenly I realized I'm at a table with owners and I don't belong there.
Right.
It was very embarrassing. I went to the restroom and stayed for the rest of the day.
Oh, Linda.
And she's a grown-up with a lot of self-esteem.
That's
so
right.
I
It
have
happens
no
to
trust in
everybody.
the owners.
It happens to everyone. All right, well, speaking of self-esteem, sometimes you can have too much of it. So here on the Suncoast, we know plenty about surviving our sweltering heat. But have you ever tried a Beijing bikini to keep cool? That's the name given to the strange habit of Chinese men rolling up their shirts to keep cool, completely revealing their bellies. There is rarely a six-pack in sight, by the way. This bare belly concept is seen on public sidewalks, parks, stores, men at work, pretty much everywhere, in the summer in China. There are even increased Beijing bikini sightings elsewhere in the world, like Paris and New York, from Chinese tourists.
I saw a man walking down 41 like
They
that.
do that everywhere.
Hey.
It's hot. They want to take their shirt off.
They should look in a mirror, though. You know, there should be mirrors along the street.
I don't think these people are worried about the mirror. I think they're worried about the heat.
I like that they gave
hard
it a
for me
name.
to realize
the
that
name made me laugh.
concept.
If it's making a national publication, I think we found that in the New York Times, and now you're calling it the Beijing bikini. So I like that. Brazilian, Beijing, we got them from all ends.
They could draw little pictures on their tummies and turn it into art.
All right, we're going to check
Connect
in
an
with our
app.
happy hour forecast to see how hot it's going to be. And then we're going to talk about a very important thing in our state right now. USF Sarasota Manatee here to talk about Zika.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your happy hour forecast. A hot one right now. Temperatures in the low 90s and not many storms out there. Currently, most of the activity inland. We are continuing to monitor now tropical depression, Julia. It is no longer a tropical storm. Still a lot of storms firing up near the center as it drifts off to the east right now. Not moving much at all off the Carolina coast. And there's another disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico heading toward Texas, and that's going to bring some heavy rainfall there over the weekend. Here's the latest on Julia, as it is now a tropical depression. It's drifting to the east at 8 miles an hour, and you can see it's not going to be moving much. Eventually, it will fade away by Sunday, it looks like. For us, a lot of showers to the north of us, a few inland storms right now, not much going on. Most of the activity is pushing slowly off to the east-northeast at around 10 miles an hour, but you can see there's not much out there right now. We'll see scattered showers tomorrow, not many. The rain chances at 30% only. Details on that coming up at 5. See you then.
Health officials report this week that 6 new cases of the Zika virus have been found in Florida. That brings the state's total